I'd like to now call upon the President-elect of the University of the Sciences Alumni Association, Mr. Hongjin Na, to welcome you into the university's Alumni Association. Jin.
Thank you, President Mays. Hello, class of 2016. Congratulations! Well done! For those of you who don't know who I am, I will be your first Asian American alumni president in the almost 200 years of history of this fine institution. Now, I promise to be brief because I know there's a lot of celebrating to be done tonight, but I want to take this opportunity to speak to you on a couple of points before you start out on your professional careers. But before I begin, I want to share some of my background with you. I came to the United States in 1970 when I was 1 year old. My father's sister had married an American soldier from Chester County while he was stationed over in South Korea, which allowed my father to immigrate to the United States. My father arrived here with $30 in his pocket. My mother and I eventually arrived by plane shortly thereafter. My father had some college and some technical training during his time in the South Korean Army, but those first years in the United States, he really struggled to make money. He took the jobs he needed to do in order to keep his family afloat. We started off living in Upper Darby, and then when my brother and sister were born, we moved to Macungie, Pennsylvania, then eventually back to Havertown, Pennsylvania. By then, my father had saved enough money to start his own clothing manufacturing company. As our fortunes grew, so did our family. Soon my grandmother, aunts, uncles, and cousins would all arrive to this country. By the time I entered middle school, we lived in a suburban home in southern New Jersey. Now, I have to be honest here, I was not the model high school student, more like the model delinquent. But I managed to get through high school at a time where there were very few Asian Americans. Assimilation to American culture was not easy for me. On the one hand, I had very conservative parents, and on the other, I wanted to find my place in an ever-changing, progressive, modern-day society. Like most Korean parents, they wanted me to become a medical doctor, but I had different interests. So I managed to persuade my father to let me pursue studies to become a pharmacist. I later went on to enroll in West Virginia University as a pre-pharmacy major and had a blast playing men's rugby football there. But when it came time to choose a school of pharmacy, I applied to the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and Science and was accepted. I decided to become a pharmacology and toxicology major instead of pharmacy because I desired to enter industry rather than clinical practice. Again, I was not the model student here and spent more time in dive bars than at the library. And I was also a transfer student who needed to adjust to a smaller school and to my new surroundings in the city. I think I was very lucky to get into PCP&S. The faculty in the pharmacology and toxicology department had provided me with a foundation of knowledge and understanding about medicines that I still use today. Mentors like Dr. Wu Chow are still here today. There's no matching Dr. Chow's passion for science. Others like Dr. Joan Tarloff are unfortunately not here. Dr. Tarloff passed away on May 3rd, 2013, and boy, she was a tough woman. But looking back, I feel that I owe her tremendously. Other mentors like Dr. Jeff Voigt, Dr. Lily Velez have moved on to other institutions, but while they were here, they were dedicated educators who cared enormously about their students. When I graduated PCP&S in 1992, the job market was rough. We had just finished the first Gulf War, and I had no luck obtaining a job in the career that I prepared for. So like my father before me, I opened up a packaging and fulfillment company that my father helped me to set up. I made a good living and could have gone working on this, but my father kept urging me to go back to school and to pursue my dreams. I eventually did come back to school, but now it was the University of Sciences, and I was enrolled in the Master's of Biomedical Writing program. It was in one of these classes that I met my first boss at Wyeth Pharmaceuticals, and it was at Wyeth that my career in medical education began. I've been in medical education and in the continuing professional development of healthcare professionals for over 16 years now. My work supports the continuing education of doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and yes, even physician assistants. In addition to Wyeth, I've held positions in medical education at Merck, Sanofi, and now at Teva Pharmaceuticals. I've been married for 18 years now, have a 15-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son, and we still live in South Jersey. And I am currently studying for my doctorate in educational leadership at Rowan University. So that's my past. That's where I'm from. I'm sure there are many of you out there in the audience that have similar stories. But the point where our stories converge is at this institution, the University of the Sciences. Our institution has a long history of developing industry leaders and has been the vehicle for an untold number of students climbing out of lower income situations to becoming leaders in their professions. As Asian Americans, part of our character is the respect that we show for our elders and for our history. The University of Sciences is now a part of your history. And like our families, we need to protect it, help it grow, and add new members. As graduates, you are now members of the Alumni Association, and as president-elect, I invite you to come and actively participate in our family. The Alumni Association of the University of Sciences is your laboratory to experiment and sharpen your leadership skills. There are several alumni who would love to act as resources for your leadership development. You can also volunteer for leadership roles and help mentor other students on the skills that you have mastered. I think that's the real value of the Alumni Association. But of course, we still need to drive donation giving because the reality is that resources are tight everywhere, and we as leaders need to find ways to move forward despite this. Anyway, we could all do better with less Starbucks coffee, and I hate to say alcohol. And that's all I have to say today, except for congratulations, class of 2016. On behalf of the Alumni Association, we wish you good luck and success in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Jin. And welcome, graduates, to the Alumni Association.